What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So I got a really great question on my Copilot vs. Claude Code video that I think a lot of other people are probably asking as well. The viewer said, I don't fully understand what Copilot's purpose is and really the difference between Claude Code, Codex, etc. Because when you say Copilot will suggest this or that, when in reality, as shown in the video, it's just Copilot using Gemini's model to do the work. So my question would be, is there any difference in asking Copilot to do something using Sonnet 4.5 model or asking Claude directly, like in the browser? And this is a great question. And to answer it properly, I want to revisit the diagram from that video and introduce a term you're going to hear more and more in the AI dev community called the harness. The viewer's question is really about the relationship between these two layers. The foundational models, where your Sonnets, your GPTs, your Gemini models live, and the AI applications layer, where your Copilot, Claude Code, Cursor, and Codex CLI tools live. And quite frankly, these two layers, the lines are blurred a little bit because they kind of go hand in hand. Here's the key insight. The foundational models is just the brain, the intelligence. But a brain just by itself? If you've ever watched Futurama, you might be familiar with the Head Museum, where heads of historical figures, including presidents, are kept alive in jars. They're still alive, they can think, they can talk, they have opinions, but they can't really do anything. They're just sitting there. If Nixon's head wants a glass of water, well, someone has to get that for him. That's kind of what a foundational model is without a harness. It's GPT's head in a jar. It's Sonnet's head in a jar. Smart? Absolutely. But it can't touch your code base. It can't run your tests. It just talks. This is where the harness comes into play. A harness is a layer that wraps around the foundational model and gives it the ability to actually act. It's what turns a language model into an agent. You might also hear people call this the tool layer or orchestration layer. Same idea. But what does a harness provide? Well, it provides tool access, like accessing the file system, being able to run commands in your terminal, being able to access your browser and interact with your browser, APIs. The model can now touch things. It maybe has appendages and senses. It can also do better context gathering, so it can read your code base more easily. It can automatically pull in relevant files, and even some tools can index your project structure. And since it's running on a lower level, like the terminal, it can run commands, write files, execute your tests, and see the results. So this is the agentic loop. It can plan, execute, observe the results, adjust if needed, and repeat until the task is done. And I think Simon Willison has the best definition of what an agent is. It's an LLM agent running tools in a loop to achieve a goal. So without a harness, you're just having a conversation with a really smart brain. And with the harness, now you've got a coding partner that can actually work on your code base. So is there any difference between asking Copilot or Cursor, Claude Code with Sonnet versus just asking Claude itself through the browser? And yes, it's a huge difference. Those AI applications are the harness. So you're using the same brain, Sonnet for instance, but those AI applications give it hands, give it feet, give it senses, give it the ability to use tools and access your code base more easily. When you copy and paste code into a chatbot like Claude.ai, you're talking to an unharnessed model. Now, they are getting a little more sophisticated nowadays. You can connect your Google Drive, you can connect project management systems like Asana. It's starting to become more smart. It can search the web, it can access web results and web pages. So it's becoming smarter, but if you're coding, you should really be using a coding specific tool like Cursor, Copilot, Claude Code, Codex CLI. Those tools are designed to really facilitate you and reduce the friction so you can iterate more quickly. So the models underneath the hood are the same, but what really makes the difference is the harness. So now the viewer's question makes more sense. Copilot and Claude Code, they're not models, they're harnesses. They're both wrapping models and giving them the ability to act. The differences between them, which I covered in the original video, are really about how they harness. Copilot and Cursor, they're more IDE native, whereas opposed to Claude Code and the other CLI tools like OpenCode, Codex CLI, those are just terminal agents. They live in the command line. And another big difference is that Copilot, Cursor, OpenCode, they can harness different models, which is a great benefit. Whereas opposed to Claude Code, it can only harness Anthropic models. So when you're choosing between them, you're not choosing between models necessarily, you're really choosing between harnesses, between experiences. The models are more interchangeable, but the harness is what shapes how you work. So to bring it all home, the model is the intelligence, but the harness is what turns that intelligence into an agent that can actually work on your code base. So hopefully that clears things up. Really great question. Keep them coming in the comments. I love doing the response videos. And yeah, if this helped, drop a like, click subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.